Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League Season 3. I am 40 Lions, joined by the one and only ZSX. We've had a long day of Quake, but we still have more on the way. And next up is going to be psygib versus Rapha. Dan, I mean, how do you feel about this one? psygib versus Rapha? What do you think, man?
I thank God I'm sitting here and not in psygib shoes.
You think he's trembling in his boots? I don't know. Rapha looks to be on a tear again, coming off that land victory back in November. But this is the Quake Pro League. It's a little bit different, but I mean, Rapha seems to be in form from all the practice streams and tournament results, so I kind of agree with you on that one.
I think psygib, from my memory, generally does okay against Rapha. I mean, when I say okay, it's always a 3-0 Rapha, but it's respectable losses, which is about the most you can expect from most players. So I still wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemies to go up against Rapha, but you know, hopefully psygib keeps it within a decent scoreline.
I agree. You hope to see something close, but maybe the pick bans would give us a little bit of insight as to whether that's a possibility or if he just lost based on the pick bans themselves, because that does play a part. Not a huge part. You could still get around, as we saw kind of Chain maybe mispicking some things, playing, not adapting to his opponents. Rapha, of course, being the king of adaptation. Look at this. Corrupted Keep, Blood Covenant, Veil. We got Strog versus Scale, Nyx versus Visor, the classic, and then we hit him with the DK and Sorlag, Dan. What do you think?
I mean, what can you do in psygib shoes? You ban a BJ and you get a scale smacked at your face. So
yeah.
that could be a really tough one, and it will be a really tough one. I mean, with the Blood Covenant, I mean, I said earlier I don't like the Visor, so I'm really interested to see how Rapha plays this and proves me utterly wrong, because he's picked it into the Nyx, and as I mentioned in the Cypher encounter earlier, the one thing Rapha has going for him is his incredible awareness and ability to make decisions faster than anyone else, and so he can make the Visor look quick. And so I think, let's see what he brings out, but if he brings out a high level performance, this will be a template for how to play Visor on this map. And then the remaining map, great terminology, we have the Sword-Eye, great pick once again, but I do like the Death Encounter. So I do think overall psygib has made a decent rounded level of picks here.
So solid picks, and we just have to kind of wait and see what psygib emerges. I mean, we've seen him play, to say the least, not to the best of his abilities. We haven't seen that psygod emerge sometimes, and he pays the price. But when psygod comes out, if psygib is hitting at peak performance, if you will, do you think that's enough to take down Rapha?
Not in current form. I believe he might have done it in the past, but things have changed since then. And I think even peak depends what in any given Sunday, right? It could happen, but no, I don't believe he would take it off Rapha.
Well, taking a quick peek at the predictions, at least on map number 1, 98%.
Oh my God! Yeah, but that's right. There's a scale bearer in play, but oh my God!
It's still rough. Still feels rough. No love for the Aviators. I hope they pop out. But we'll see. I mean, I was going to say if Rapha has an off day, maybe psygib has a chance if he's hitting peak performance. But does Rapha really have an off day? Does that exist? Does that function exist? I'm not sure. It seems like even on his off days, he's still performing, you know, leaps and bounds better than most. But it's just a testament to how crazy that guy is. But looks like it, I think, unanimous on the booth here, 3-0 for Rapha, or are you willing to commit to that?
Oh yeah, I committed to that before the schedule came out.
Well, chat seems to agree, at least for map number 1, but I just hope for a close game, as always, because we just want to see as many frags as possible. We want to see those stressful situations that we don't have to be in, right, Dan? Because Lord knows my heart can't take it. But yeah. We heard the noises. We're getting into it shortly. It is going to be... I want to say a tight one, but I don't know. We'll see. CK first, at least in close combat, because CK is a smaller map, no rail at play. I don't think that affects either player, to be completely honest. psygib has been known to just shred people with LG, so maybe if he gets on LG first and he starts shredding and maybe gets a lead somehow. But Rapha, again, king of adaptation, he just kind of plays based off his opponent in the moment, doesn't have a set plan, and that's what makes him so crazy, because the man is liquid, and that's not a pun. You could take it that way if you want, but I think the king of adaptation is going to come out on top. But let the players speak for themselves, Dan.
Yeah, and psygib is a force when he gets control. He's very good at timing. He plays the basics very well, ABC, and as you said, he has solid aim. The question mark comes in if he doesn't have that control. Rapha will walk over you, and it's
bull rush over you in this
yeah,
situation.
In this instance, quite literally. So this map in particular is going to be dicey. But at least
We'll
Rapha
see.
gets a nice North American warm-up before he moves over to EU matches.
Let's see how dicey it is. Let's see if psygib rolls Snake Eyes here as he already runs into a wall and a lot of LG. And Peeker dealt with nicely, and now psygib doesn't really have anything here. Has to use the crouch slide to get away, and Rapha wisely dodges that rocket on the way out.
Yep, and I'm expecting a lot of combat on this particular map because that's all a scale bearer wants to do. But we have seen in the past, very rarely, Rapha getting too enthusiastic with the scale bearer, particularly against like the likes of Maxter. I don't think that's going to happen today. Dicey affair as he comes barreling in, and psygib actually tries to get away, very narrowly dies actually. But there we go. 1-0 to Rapha.
Not landing the rockets, but the Peeker will be melted instantly with the LG, so nothing too crazy for psygib, unfortunately, as Rapha takes the 1 frag lead. And yeah, after that bull rush, I think Rapha was even surprised that he lived through that, as he had to kind of wait a second, swapped a shotgun, and okay, decent damage on the way out here, but Rapha has the pick of items that he wants, and he's going to go for the heavy.
Yeah, smarter choice, because then he has health to get back into his time stack, so you get more out of the item. Psygib's done a good job to get Rapha low. Rapha just waiting on the choke point. Psygib cannot push it. And the items at the same time mean Rapha will get at least one of them, but at least Psygib also gets the other. But it doesn't really matter when you've got no health.
Yeah, I was going to say, just that little bit of nail damage, and psygib's already looking not so great, even after the heavy pickup. Does grab a little bit of health, and I thought that rocket was just going to donk him. That was so close. Catches him out, full rush into shotgun again.
There's the combo. Items still on the same time, but honestly, it doesn't really matter to Rapha. He's probably going to try and delay this, which he does. He goes straight over to the Mega. psygib, though, fortunately reading that, will sweep his way across and pick up the heavy. Rapha, though, decides to keep the items at the same point, just in case something malicious happens and he loses control. And psygib's done a good job here. Should be able to pick up a frag, and he does nicely.
That was just perfect LG positioning from psygib, and again, that thing can shred. It helps to hit a scale because the hitbox is a little bit bigger, but psygib, of course, just strong shaft. And here's the bull rush, and Rapha's just getting up close and personal, but bull rush is from so far away, and he might go down again.
The question is, will he take the heavy with him? And the answer is no. psygib might even be able to get both items here, and he will be able to as Rapha spawns over by that rocket, comes flying on in, but eats a huge amount of pain, and actually doesn't really do anything. psygib here, tying us up 3-3. Should be able to take it 4-3, but Rapha's just got so much to work with. Live to fight for now and just try to do as much damage as he can, but we have a little bit of a game at the moment at 3 minutes in.
Oh, such good LG again, and it bails out psygib. The heavy's right there. He's going to be able to get a little bit of a boost after that frag.
Yeah. This is a snippet of what I was talking about. Rapha tends to want to throw his body at the problem when he plays a heavy champion. And if he doesn't get enough damage done with that, it can leave him in a little bit of trouble. But this time, he did do enough damage, and this time he picked up the item, but he's left with nothing.
4 HP, 225s to work with in the boneyard, but psygib has to know. He just sat there and peppered him with heavy machine gun. Can he get back to this Mega? No, he can't, and just like that, the door, in my opinion, to add to the lead is, you know, if not closed, then definitely at least locked, but Rapha looking to break through. As he does eat a little bit of rocket, well placed there from psygib. Rapha needs to be careful now. Ooh, big dunks though. The Peeker, will he be able to do it? He does. The Peeker from around the corner. That was perfect Peeker play.
And perfect timing just before this heavy as well. It's only a matter of time now. The Mega's been delayed again. Where if psygib gets another one of these frags, he could get both major items, and that will leave Rapha in a lot of trouble.
Ooh, and that one was a bit too much from psygib there. As Rapha catches him out with the LG. Nice positioning there. Heavy's going to be up first. psygib's going to be able to make his way there. I don't know if he'll have enough time to do damage at the Mega, so it might be free for Rapha and his scale bearer. Oh, that rocket. Such good placement there. The
Magical.
peeker comes out.
Still trapped though, and it will be a fairly easy frag for rapha. He's just trying to bide his time, not to give away any unnecessary damage. He also wants to pick up this item and maintain the rotation, so he does actually forfeit position for now.
Yeah, rapha just says that's fine. Do whatever you want. And psygib won't even stick around to try and get the mega, knowing that it's kind of just a death sentence. A little bit of a tickle as rapha jumps out. And now the bull rush chasing him, and the rockets won't be able to stop him. Pops him into the wall, and again with the boomstick, Shoddy Pippin comes out to play for what, the third, fourth time? Getting a lot of mileage out of that combo as rapha.
When did the big man land to corner like that? That was some serious moves.
Oh, he's got moves. He's got the Allen Iverson crossover. It's amazing. The fancy footwork on scale. Unbeaten. Intergalactic dance star. As psygib is able to steal away the mega and deal massive damage with those rockets.
Yeah, that was a really pivotal point in this game because rapha was mounting a sizable advantage. psygib gets back into it, but he's eaten a couple of huge rockets himself. rapha takes the lead. Trying to get away for now, but it's delaying and for no real reason at this point. rapha will pick up this heavy saving grace again. This psygib still has this retreat of the mega health to fall back on, keeping him in this game. But rapha now is building his momentum and beginning to take away the light armors as well, so it really is limiting all sort of comeback mechanics for psygib.
Big rocket there in the LG as rapha has to turn tail and run. Next item's going to be the heavy. Peeker is going to be up, and there's the bull rush, and is it going to be enough as he chases him down and he stops short, and now the Peeker could finish the job as we've seen before. It does, psygib! What a play! He's able to grab the mega, and he might make a mad dash for the heavy, but instead, that little bit of hesitance cost him everything.
Yeah, that was actually important, because now rapha keeps in the game. It was looking actually pretty dire for him, and the peak is coming up huge for psygib.
What a dodge! What a dodge! psygib is the one! That was incredible.
It's a lot closer than we all anticipated.
Yeah, and I think we are seeing a version of Psygod for sure. Again, the LG absolutely shredding, and rapha needs to be careful. But he's just so quick on his feet. Again, Scale able to get out of danger. Peeker is in play for psygib here, but he needs to be careful. There's the bull rush. I don't think he can get away, and he can't. Closing the gap again using the shotgun. Amazing weapon choices from rapha. Knowing that he's low, there's a lot of Peeker damage on the board here, and rapha in a bad way. Now, can the nails connect the machine gun? Wise choice.
Really nice Peeker. Again, decision making from psygib. He won't be able to get across to do damage, though. No one's had a lockdown on this map, which has been critical. Oh, I thought he was actually going to bounce himself over, which was amazingly fortunate, but it doesn't work out, and rapha takes the lead with 2 minutes to go.
Wow, and that LG, again, just bouncing around, just getting enough tick damage to take a 2-frag lead now, and psygib was so close, but now he has to be careful, because this could go the way of rapha. This next one might seal it. psygib has to play a little bit more passive. rapha just picked up the mega. Heavy will go to psygib, but at what cost? A lot of LG damage.
Yeah, and at this point it's looking slim odds for psygib. He still has the Peeker, which is potentially his only saving grace, but he's going to have to do something absolutely spectacular with it, and unfortunately he doesn't for now.
Big rockets into the bull rush, and he doesn't connect. psygib melts him down with the LG.
There's still a chance. The mega's up, but no, he gets the spawn over by Nail, and he takes away the only item up at that point in time. psygib gets one for himself, and he's got a minute now to stay in this game.
psygib has to be careful. Trying to use positioning to just get a nice beat of LG. Luckily for him, bull rush is down. There's a little bit of extra Peeker damage before he goes down. Mega is going to be the next item. He's going to top off his LG because he's been using that beautifully, but rapha has an LG of his own. Just bullies his way onto that Mega Dam.
Biggest item in the game. That would have been critical if psygib gets that. He still has one lifeline left with the last major item in the game. rapha's pressuring though. He knows he can't let psygib get onto the high ground. He's cut him off, but rapha himself is just stuck on the low ground. He bull rushes through. psygib has to move now. There's no other choice. Lightning gun comes out. rapha knows he's got the meat king with the stack, and that will be a close, good game for rapha.
just a nail biter. And I think we've answered the question of what psygib is going to show up, as that one was extremely close. But in the end, Rapha will take it. And the subtle play at the end there, where Rapha was stuck at shotgun, and instead of panicking while he was in the corner and trying to run out where psygib was shooting rockets, stood his ground, waited until he knew exactly where psygib was, and then made a cleaner exit. Just little plays like that add up. And Rapha will take it 11-9. What a first map, Dan.
Yeah, and considering how chaotic the start was, it looked brutal for psygib, but he managed to compose himself, stay in the game. What I will say is just Rapha gives you a little bit of an in when he plays his heavier champions. It almost loses some of his strategical nuance because he wants to bully you and maximize the reason why he's picked a scale bearer. And that actually played into psygib's hands a bit because it allows him to use his combat skill, which we know he's so good at. And it gets messy and it gets chaotic, and yes, it can work out and you can snowball to a 30 frag victory, but it can also end up like this where maybe you end up throwing too many frags away. So for now, Rapha lives to fight another day, and psygib put in a great performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of, but Rapha getting caught throwing his weight around maybe a little bit too much, but he does make it work in the end, and that's all that matters, putting up the W. As we take a look at the stats from Corrupted Keep between psygib and Rapha, the first map of the set, and it was a close one, just like we hoped. Now, moving into Blood Covenant shortly, Nyx versus Visor. You're a little interested, very interested, in how Rapha is going to utilize this Visor against this Nyx, because in your what do you think, 7-3 in favor of Nyx in terms of this matchup?
I would say when played well, yeah, maybe 7-3, 6-4. It's not massively difference, but I prefer the Nyx just because of the mobility. The stack is obviously slightly less, but it gives you a lot of utility in that aspect. So interested to see how Rapha can keep on top, keep positioning, keep the tempo high. We'll have to observe and wonder.
We will see shortly as we are loading in, taking a quick peek at the predictions. 87% in favor of Rapha. So they believe in the Visor. We will see. Again, psygib with a fantastic first showing going up against Rapha. I mean, down 2 frags, almost taking it. That's a pretty impressive performance. So I got high hopes here on Blood Covenant for him.
Well, considering it was 98 too, he's now creeping in his favor with that performance.
Yeah, not bad. Climbing up. And if he does win, Quake economy will be in absolute shambles. So we will see. Sparty already ruined it for a lot of people, so big shouts to Sparty, the mayonnaise man. But map number 2 awaiting us shortly here between Rapha and psygib on Blood Covenant. The classic, Nyx versus Visor. We will see who comes out on top. I think psygib has a good shot at this. Again, the LG is looking on point. I know hitting a scale is easier. Still, I just believe in the LG, so maybe if he makes a couple good decisions, it could snowball his way, but Rapha's Rapha for a reason, man. It's so hard to try and predict against him or, put your chips against him at all. So, we'll see.
So, we will have to see, but it's good to see Blood Covenant back. It's, it feels like a new map, even though it really isn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see it back. I personally really like this map and the small changes that they made since its iteration in Quake Champions. But we are live right now. Map number 2, psygib versus Rapha. Nyx versus Visor. And okay, a little bit of a skirmish here right off the bat. A little bit of damage, nothing too crazy. But the Ghost Walk is popped early now. And oh, the rocket is just perfectly timed. Can he get it? How is he alive? And he drops down and he goes up the jump pad, and the machine gun swap. Finally, Rapha able to take him down. That was a bit sloppy there for a second, though, Dan.
Pretty messy from both of them. psygib definitely could have done more damage as well, but the way Rapha gets out with the frag, which he probably should have done anyway.
Vision's going to be up shortly here. Oh no, psygib gets caught on the deadly trampoline. The LG denying entry to the top of the platform, and that's a second easy frag for Rapha here. Now he pops Vision just to make sure he sees all of this blood spurting in his face as he gets his third frag. And a minute in, this is not looking great.
No, recognizing the Ghost Walkers on cooldown and just keeping the pressure up, making sure that Nyx... Okay. At least you can laugh that off. Yeah, and so can psygib. Are you okay, 40?
No, no, I'm not. That was spicy, Dan. My God. What a rocket from psygib to keep him in this. That was just absolutely brutal. The way that that was placed, you'd think that he was on visor. Like, rapha missing with the rail, does have vision if he needs it, but that's got to make psygib feel good.
Yeah, psygib living up to his name. He pushes on through. He knows the mega's up. The rapha's already in position. Used the piercing sight though, just to make sure he had exact knowledge of the capabilities of psygib. And that frag, shocking the world, has actually stabilized this. Retreated into a slower tempo.
Yeah, putting a literal dead stop to rapha's momentum here, but now psygib corners himself. This is bad. The tri-bolt not landing, finally opting to switch to heavy machine gun, but the ghost walk after the heavy pickup, not too bad. All things considered, psygib will live to see another day and have a little bit of armor now to fight for this mega. The vision is popped, the rails exchange from both players, but unfortunately for psygib, he won't land his. rapha grabbing the upper armor, catching him out at the vials. Nice. Just being so patient. You could see him peer over the ledge. He thought that he was going to be at the lower armor shard. He decides to get the upper one and just double back, and in that time just catches him out. And again, positioning. Rapha's so good at playing off the items, knowing where kind of his opponent needs to go to survive, and just playing up there.
And that's the key. It's reading your opponent. We've seen a lot of use of the rocket jump to make sure he's back in position as fast as possible. And he slows the tempo down, but maintains position when the ghost walks up. And when it's not up, he goes super aggressive and uses the piercing sight to put the pressure on and force it up. And now psygib's got nothing to work with. Watch the pressure come out. Watch the tempo go out. That's the recipe he's following.
Big rail here. Can he follow up with the LG? A little bit of a tickle and it works. And at that point, Dan, when you're about to die and you're just, do you concede or do you actually pop the ability and try and stay alive? Because it's almost to your detriment at that point. When you use it, and you're still going to die anyway.
Yeah, you concede. You absolutely concede because, as you say, it's the most critical element of the next tool set. So luckily it was on cooldown, but just don't panic, pop it.
Fantastic conversion from rapha, using the sight to get yet another one off the spawn and add to his body count. 7-1. Just looking so strong. Decent rockets here to mitigate that mega pickup. He's going to double back and try and get this frag as well as, again, he knows what psygib needs to survive, and the tri-bolt just happy little dinks and dunks.
Yep, and it's looking brutal.
Oh no!
Don't know the last time I saw psygib even have armor.
I don't know, but that tri-bolt was just fantastic. rapha, one of the players that uses the tri-bolt beautifully. He really makes that weapon sing. He's going to be able to rocket jump away almost in stride with psygib. And is he going to tri-bolt again? Of course he is.
Oh, I thought he wanted to finish it with the tri-bolt, but too much respect from rapha. And psygib's got nothing to work with. Literally nothing.
It's just, what do you do against this? Big rockets? Okay! And there's the answer. psygib says just a little bit of this. 2 rockets into a rail, why not? Right back into it, and maybe 5 minutes in, still a 7 frag deficit. And you know that rapha's not going to give this one up easy. He could play a little bit more passive if he needs to. He can use that vision to make sure where the attacks are coming from, even if he is invised. And 2 big rails. Easy layup for rapha off the jump pad.
Yeah, and this map is very hard to play on the defense. It's quite easy to circle both items. It's quite easy to control that high ground. You can see rapha doing it to perfection now. It's like if this time forced to pop it out, but there's nothing there. He even gets the pummel. He
just has to go for it at that point, I feel like. Deficit is already too big. What a rail. Lots of damage coming in from that tri-bolt. rapha's stuck down by the pillars now. 90 HP railable, but I don't think psygib has a rail. He has to make the tri-bolt sing, and I don't think he can, as rapha moonwalking his way back to the heavy after grabbing the lower armor shard. Does take more damage, though. psygib might be able to close in on this huge defensive rocket from rapha.
Yeah, another one from rapha, using the piercing sight perfectly. psygib gets a frag, but look at the difference at this point.
There's strings of damage here and there where you think, all right, psygib can use this, he can convert and take some sort of map control, and then rapha just, no. Shuts that down. The rails from psygib, fantastic, but he's got to hit that damage after the item pickup here. rapha literally doubling the heavy and mega pickups. Doing doing a good job of controlling the map. And even now, conceding when he needs to and living off the lights. And again, another testament to how good Rapha is, knowing when he can and can't show up for items, even for damage.
And he's so good at just constantly peppering his opponent. The Nyx is weak at the best of times. psygib's constantly been living with less than even a basic stack because of the output of damage from
Rapha just... You could just see it. It kind of looks like he's just eating, like a bowl of cereal or something, Dan, you know? It's just easy for him. This is just Saturday morning Quake tunes. Pours himself a little something nice, 11-3. And it's just so easy.
Yep, it is another day at the office for Rapha. 11-3. Little hope for anything from psygib at this point. So it's about just, you know, keeping yourself in the game, keeping your mind focused. But it's been clinical from Rapha. And it shows also, as much as I like the Nyx here, when Nyx is under the Kosh, it's extremely difficult also to play. Very few people play a great defensive Nyx. You know, Kilson comes to mind as one of the few people that can do it exceptionally well consistently. And we've seen Rapha exploit these champions that have, you know, highs and lows. Clutch comes to mind as well. Always has a recipe for how to counter them.
Yeah, and I think I think it's fair to say that Kilson is probably the Nyx player to look up to in terms of how he plays. Base is also very strong on Nyx, but Kilson just seems to have that extra gear when it comes to picking Nyx and just knowing exactly what to do all the time.
Yeah. And Nyx is just one of those pendulum champions. Extreme highs, but also extreme lows, and it can look incredibly overpowered or incredibly weak, and it all comes down to how it's played and how your opponent can manage shit. So the same way as I use Clutch as an example, you know, they put it in another person's hands except Razy, and it looks incredibly useless. So it requires a mindset and an understanding of what to do at all times under all situations.
What a rail after that rocket jump, and you can see Rapha saw kind of that invis dissipate on the way out and immediately knew, okay, heavy's taken, I need to move, and that's exactly what he did, and he finds the rail opening, and it's one of the many reasons why Rapha's just so strong. And unfortunately for psygib, this one again not going his way, not even as close as CK. So you gotta wonder what's left in the tank going into the third map, and if psygib can try and fight back, or if he's already kind of conceded in his head, like this is just an uphill battle right now.
I mean, it's always hard to know what to think when you go up against Rapha, no matter who you are. So kind of opens the door to experiment and not feel bad about losing, if anything. So that's the silver lining aspect. So it's really tough, and this was brutal again.
Even the double back on the Mega, he's able to grab it, and just another clinic put on by Rapha. Rapha on Visor, name a more just iconic duo. Down goes psygib one last time, and it looks like 17-3 is going to be the final score as you take a look at that belt. That boy got the belt on Visor for a reason, Dan. 2 up. Rapha looking very strong, looking in championship form. psygib, again, coming out swinging on the first map, not so much on map number 2, whether that's champions or not. It's a little brutal as we go into map number 3 here.
I think it kind of exemplifies what we talked about in terms of just the structure of the way that Rapha played the game. Map 1, Corrupted Keep, he played it messy, and it ended up being a messy scoreline. Map 2 was a lot more structured and disciplined and strategical from Rapha, and that's why it was a clinic. So, yeah, it's just the way it goes, really. But that's when Rapha's playing at his highest level, and you really have to be on his level to even have a sniff of competing.
Yeah, and it's just sometimes that's how she goes there, bud. And this is just a highlight reel for Rapha right now on Blood Covenant. Again, you have to have the memory of a goldfish, as a certain coach might say. Going into map number 3, Vale, it's going to be DK versus Sorlag. psygib's on the Death Knight. Rapha has Sorlag. And all due respect to psygib, I just don't see it going any other way than what we've seen now. Whether it's close or not, psygib absolutely has a say in that, but at the end of the day, I feel like Rapha's just playing at a different level right now than psygib, and this should be a 3-0.
Yep. There's a famous saying in economics, ceteris paribus, which basically means all other things being equal, rapha should walk this.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And
I'm
that's
glad
how
that you picked up on
bill
that.
comes into law.
And that is how a bill becomes a law. As we take a look at the stats for Blood Covenant, 17-3. And just damage evenly dispersed, good percentages from Rapha, and just that's kind of what you expect to see from him now. It's almost like sometimes he sets such a high standard for himself that if he doesn't have these blowouts, you're kind of like, damn, is he falling off? Like, what happened with Rapha? Like, has he not been playing? And it's just like, that's insane to be a victim of your own success at that level.
Yeah, and I doubt he listens to you or I and gives two hoots about what we say or Twitch chat, so I don't think he cares. It's about
I know specifically he doesn't like any of the changes that I've proposed on Twitter. He actually texted me and said, please stop hurting me. So, but in terms of the criticism,
he's not alone. He's not alone with that. But, I mean, he's quite philosophical when it comes to Quake. He has his beliefs about how it should be played, the methods, and it comes back to that Veil discussion, right? Where he would lose Veil all the time, and yet he would tell us it was his best map and he played it right, and he would pick it again and again because that was his philosophy, that he played it better than anyone else. It was his best map, even though the way he played it wasn't working. That's just the way his mind works, and if he can assert that, and it's that's what makes him great.
It is quite the sight to see as we're loading up map number 3 in the background here, and it is going to be Veil, and we are going to see if it's one of his best maps. Again, based on the performance so far, I tend to say yes. Taking a quick look at the Twitch predictions, 98% for Rapha. Now you're just being mean.
Now we return to normal. There we go.
Now you're just being mean.
You got some chances out there. The 2% thinking I'm going to make a bit of a profit here if it all goes my way.
Predict the under, make a little bit of cash.
But, not really
cold hard Twitch cash.
Yeah, they're not throwing any big bucks at it. They're just chancing it with some spare change. They don't really have any hope.
Oh, well, hopefully psygib has some hope because it's still a long 10 minutes before the end of this series, and we'll see if Rapha's going to be another one of the hat trick entries for the beginning of Season 3 Quake Pro League, which, again, great to be back. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and being here. It's wonderful. After we tie this up, don't worry, I saw some people in chat talking about, where's DJ Wheat? Oh, he'll be on. Don't worry, we got 2 matches after this one. Don't you cry. Don't you shed a single tear. He'll be back, and he'll hopefully wrangle us in because we are just a mess today, Dan. At least I am. I don't know about you. You look great.
I mean, he's unemployed now. He's come down to our level. It's fine.
Finally. He's one of us.
He's one of us. Oh, man. DJ Wheat. I bet he can't wait.
Legend. Absolute legend. Can't wait to see him. And he's probably still salty about, Rapha winning on Scalebearer. But I think he's actually conceded that Rapha on Scale's a different story, but everyone else. But whatever, we can talk to him when he gets on. For now, we're going to hop into the third map here. It's going to be Veil, psygib versus Rapha. We're going to be live, and again, we're going to see if psygib has a little bit something to muster to try and make this a 2-1. Just a little bit something.
I don't think I agree. I don't think Twitch Chat agrees. So I don't think even psygib agrees, honestly. And we're already into it.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to snap my fingers and be like, what about now? What about now? But we're here. We're here. Everything's fine. psygib taking a rail right off the bat. Needs to be careful as he's already kind of weak. Does have the flame strike. Again, we're going to see if this is as easy as eating a bowl of cereal for Rapha. A little bit of preemptive spit there to try and zone. psygib's going to try and be sneaky at this jump pad, maybe. A little bit of a float from LG as Rapha jumps over to claim that mega. He's just trying to do so much damage from down below. There's a flame strike into rockets, and it's a lot, but it's not enough. Rapha able to stack back up after taking that beating with rockets and fire. Still not going down. psygib. Let's go back to the drawing board, but that LG with the mega to his back might be a lot, and there it is, but still so much damage, and he goes through and he misses the rocket, and that's a freebie for Rapha. psygib risking it all, trying to convert that one down. And a lot of LG into the rocket. psygib again, can he get away? Shotgun damage is pretty good from Rapha. And again, he does it again. 12 to the chest like Tom Brady as he takes him down with a buckshot. But finally, psygib. Wow, even off that, it's a mutual. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is give away a freebie against rapha, and he converts 1 into 4. So that was a spiral and a half. Here we go with psygib blowing up rapha this time, but he himself is pretty low. It is just before the heavy though. rapha nevertheless will want to try and push on through. He's playing the sword like he's got the speed. He's also got the spit if he wants to come in and use it.
psygib. We've already seen him rely on his flame strike a lot, so you gotta hope that he makes, you know, an effort to prioritize those vials. Right now he's just looking for some damage. What a flick! That rail was fantastic from psygib. A little bit of LG, make sure to dodge that acid spit. He's gonna jump back up and somehow those rockets will miss from both players, but now it's LG on LG. The fadeaway rail won't connect. Luckily for him, the 25 will mitigate the tick damage from the spit that he stepped in. And now, next up is Mega, but he's going to be a little bit early, so the positioning is key here, Dan. Do you just go straight up and wait with the Flame Strike, or do you hold this position down here? It looks like he's going to just make a camp right here and just wait. Depends.
He knows where rapha is, so holding position's key, because that's the only direction rapha can come from. As soon as he heard him take the route around, he had to reposition to the high ground, because rapha came in something else there. So it was the right play from psygib, but rapha's in position with the stack to get the frag anyway.
And even after eating that Flame Strike, even if the rail were to hit, just too much stack, and psygib has too much to chew through with this thick dinosaur, and there's a little bit of a boop, but rapha will just shake that off. Not a big deal as the Mega's coming up shortly.
Yep, and we're at 6-2 here. rapha in command and in control already. Psygib trying to go toe-to-toe, fight fire with fire, if you will. And it's not working so far.
And again, the Flame Strike just not doing what psygib thinks. It is a big burst of damage, but not when you give rapha all the items on the map and he's fully stacked as a Sorla.
Exactly, that's the point. rapha's got the stack to soak it to some degree, and always has a plan B to fall back on anyway. So he's also taking and soaking this damage, sweeping around and taking up the lights. If you look at the pickups for these, you know, psygib is struggling.
Definitely needs to try and do a little bit better on the items here as he does take down LG on LG, but good trap here from rapha, just holding ground. That choke point, absolutely brutal to push through as psygib, a little bit of tribal, tries to back away, get a cheeky rail on the way out, but no dice. Still a 4 frag deficit here for psygib. He's got to turn it on and turn into psygod here, as it's only going to get harder for him.
Absolutely, and what a rail. There you go, that's what he needs to do. Use more of the rail to chip rapha down before he takes the engagement, but oh no, absolutely denied.
The tri-bolts are just so good, and again, the proficiency with it, rapha unmatched as he goes up 8-3 on Veil. Again, map number 3 between these two, rapha looking for the hat trick, and again, the Flame Strike is, at this point, he's just using it just to get some damage on the board, but really, it's just a waste.
Yeah, when it doesn't result in a frag or a pickup, it's just a waste, unfortunately. And rapha, once again, is the master of reading the situation and abusing that fact.
Wow, that shotgun somehow missing the mark, but still psygod stuck in a bad way here in an easy rocket for rapha.
Yes, when rapha said Veil was his best map, maybe we should have believed him.
First of all, I was never a doubter, really. It was interesting that he was, well, that's true. But, you know, speaking from, you know, my feelings, how dare you. Second of all, 10-3 for rapha, and yeah, he's really showing us why it is his best and or favorite map here, as it's a bit of a walkover right now.
I struggle to see what psygib could do. He's in the right positions, he's taking fights, it's more just he has to do more damage in and around the map when rapha's controlling it, but that's now an impossible, so it's very hard.
It's just like the Flame Strike does not matter. He'll just take it to, it's amazing. He almost wants him to just use the Flame Strike and be like, get it out of the way and then let's fight, because rapha just has so much stack to deal with.
He's so good at forcing a fight, killing you, and then taking whatever item you would have wanted, be it lights or heavies or megas. So then you're stuck with nothing, and then he comes at you again when you have nothing.
Oh no!
And then it's just an endless cycle if you die.
Oh, There's just something so catastrophic about a telefrag. psygib will win out on a heavy. Would you really call it a win when inevitably he might go down here? Good rockets, actually, and the spit won't connect. There's a chance here. Flame strike again.
I feel like I've seen this story before.
Oh, on the way out, just a hundo.
13-4.
I was going to say potentially some ground to work with, but under 3 minutes and just the deficit is so high. I don't even know if he could string together 2 or 3 kills at this point.
Ooh, he's done a lot of damage.
Wow!
Rapha with the teleport it into rail. They come back again, but he's probably going to go down here. What a rail from Rapha.
Delicious combination from Rapha. As yeah, Mega goes to psygib, but at this point, it's just burning clock. Rapha doesn't really mind too much. There's the preemptive spit. Go ahead, take the heavy. You're going to eat some damage, and there you're going to tick away with a little bit of rail, and this is played perfectly by Rapha, knowing that psygib is just ticking away. psygib does chase down and actually get the frag, but he's so weak. This should be an easy refrag if Rapha can catch him out.
Just the perfect analogy for this game. What should have been an easy frag cost psygib nearly 200 stack.
So brutal. Just absolutely brutal. Good rails from psygib, but again, that just gotta. That stack is too thick. Ooh, nice flame strike into rail combination there. psygib. Signs of life still, not throwing in the towel. Love to see it. Big rockets here from Rapha. Can't quite land it, but just waiting. Very patient play. Doesn't make the jump over right away to get the Mega. Knows that psygib is in dire straits and needs to make the Hail Mary play. He can just play solid. So he does, gets the frag, and now chasing with the shotgun. And psygib just dancing all day, trying to hit these rails. He does string them together, but in the end, again, cannot convert.
Well, that was clinical. What started off as a very close, engaging matchup ended up being another round of domination. So full credit to Rapha, full credit to psygib for giving his all start to finish and giving us an incredible map 1.
Rapha is back. Quite the start to his season. I'm sure he's going to be happy with this result here as the final seconds will tick away. But again, psygib showed such a good map 1, and then it just kind of all fell apart. So unfortunate, but there's signs of life there from psygib, and you hope that he just pulls it together going forward through the season. And again, this is round-robin worldwide play, so you're not going to see the typical matchups through the Americas anymore. It's going to be, he's going to have to go over to EU, he's going to have to face Kelsey, he's going to have to play these players, and he's really, really got to step it up.
I was about to say, for looking at it before, particularly if you're in the America side, normally you go, oh, thank God Rapha's out the way. But now you're like, oh, I got Cypher, followed by Kilson, followed by Venga, followed by Razy. This is going to be a long
Easy
season.
schedule.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot more brutal on everybody right now, so you have to bring your A game. And again, they're playing for seeding as well as money. So Rapha with the perfect 3-0 to start off his season. psygib unfortunately can't put a map on the board, and again, lying in wait are all those killers across the pond. So it is not going to be an easy time, and it's going to be interesting to see how psygib tries to adapt.
Poor Americans.
No comment.
Except Rapha. Except Rapha. And Zeniku, to be fair, because he was in his name.
I was gonna say. Yeah. I mean, we got some heaters, dog. Give us a break out here.
I mean, 2. 1 retired.
That's true. That's true. All right, it's looking a little rough, but I believe in the boys. All right, I have to. I'm one of the only NA representatives, I guess, for the Americas. We're gonna have another one here shortly for the featured matches.
Are you gonna enter challenges? You might have a chance in the NA scene.
Oh, I just meant to boost them up, gas them up.
Right.
I don't want to embarrass everybody. That's my thing. You know how good I am. Might even put up a frag in one of the games. So anyways, 21-6 is the final score on Vale as we take a look at the stats, and just a bit of a beatdown, unfortunately.
Yeah, But no, I think, again, you said it, right? psygib showed signs of life throughout, particularly obviously map 1, but even still, like, there were definite moments of glory within there. You got 6 frags within that particular map. Map 2 was definitely brutal, but that's just the nature of Nyx on the back foot, and that was just a rapha masterclass in the visor. So map 1 and 3, definitely respectable performances, but Rapha's back, he looks as good as ever, so it's nice now to see how he can continue that form throughout the season. As I said earlier, I don't think he'll go undefeated because it's just such a rough road, but if anyone can, it will be Rapha. It won't be someone from the EU, it will be Rapha if anyone can.
Fair enough. I'm sure someone in chat has already clipped that, and they're typing, remind me, a couple weeks. We'll see. But that's pretty much it for those matches. We got the 2 title fights coming up now, Dan. It's going to be Kilson versus Avik next, and we need DJ Wheat for that. And again, as we've constantly harped on, completely unemployed, he can say whatever he wants now. So it's going to be fantastic. Don't go anywhere. This matchup is going to be absolutely insane, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Quake action here on Season 3 of the Quake Pro League.